After his wife passed away, leaving behind their 6-year-old daughter Felicity, Stephen chose to remain single to raise her. But when Felicity became a little older and independent, Stephen started to date again. It was soon after he met Beth and felt a kind of happiness he hadn't in a long time. They instantly connected. The couple were planning on taking things to the next level. That's when Stephen asked Beth to move in with him and brought her to meet Felicity. "Wow, you're really tech-savvy," Beth said, looking around at all the electronics in Felicity's room. "Well, I'm not ancient. I'm a millennial." "Cool." Felicity was only 15, but she didn't seem immature or crazy as kids her age would be. Beth had been a little worried if she would be accepting of her, but Felicity turned out mature and understanding, and after a great first family dinner, it was official. Beth was moving in. However, with the move, Beth's life got a little difficult. The first of which was traveling to work from Stephen's place. Beth worked as a marketing analyst at the BII Corp, and it took almost 1 hour driving to get there. "Wow, a new dress? I have this big event at the office on Friday. The company's foreign business partners will be coming. I have to make a good impression." Beth had been preparing for this meeting for some time now. She had practiced her speech, made a foolproof marketing scheme, and lastly, she would look her best. But come Friday morning, when Beth stepped out of the bathroom wearing her new dress, it felt a bit too small. 3 sizes small to be exact. "How did this get so tight? It was fine when I bought it. Maybe you put on some weight. How much weight can I gain in 2 days? Or did I mistake the size? Why don't you just wear something else?" "Stephen, I bought this because I didn't have anything else." "Oh, so now what?" "I don't have a choice. I'll just have to manage." With much struggle, Beth got ready and headed out feeling absolutely stuffed. She thought she would be able to pull it off, but when she got in front of everyone for her presentation, she fell into quite the dilemma. If you follow the graph, you'll see from the product promotions on social media how the company has profited significantly. Beth awkwardly glanced at everyone, unable to lift her arm or move in her dress. "Mrs. Adams, is everything okay?" Yes. Hearing that loud tearing sound, Beth went red in embarrassment. Please excuse me." Leaning against the wall and hiding her back from everyone as they stared at her in confusion, Beth managed to escape and rush to the restroom. What am I going to do? How am I going to go back? As the minutes ticked by and everyone was definitely waiting for her, Beth peeked into the hallway to see none but the janitor. Hey. Me? $20 for the hoodie. And so, Beth wore the oversized hoodie on top of her classy tight dress and returned to give her presentation. Wasn't the janitor wearing a hoodie like that? After a long day, Beth couldn't be more relieved when she finally came home and got out of the dress. "You won't believe what happened today. My dress literally tore in the middle of the presentation. My boss is probably pissed at me and everyone thinks I'm a freak." "Wow, well, I went out and bought a new dress for you, so maybe tomorrow you can make a better impression." "Really? Thanks, Stephen. This means so much to me." The next morning, Beth got her new dress prepared, her makeup, jewelry, and hopped into the shower. But moments later, Stephen heard a loud scream from the bathroom. Beth rushed out holding her black hair that was now blotched blonde in all the wrong places. "What did you do to your hair?" "I used the new shampoo. I didn't know it was also dye. How am I going to go to work like this?" Once again, as Beth walked into the conference room wearing a beanie on her head with her formal dress, she caught strange looks immediately. Bearing the strange looks, Beth quietly tried to pass the meeting. But when it came time for her to get up, her boss passed her a killer glance. "Take off that hat. Who wears that to an exclusive meeting? Are you trying to make a fool out of us?" No, it's... "Take it off." "You don't understand, okay?" And so, Beth had no choice but to flash her messed up bleached curls at the conference table. When Beth returned home that evening, she was feeling awfully low. Why was this happening to her? Even if she didn't get fired, the humiliation was bad enough. Trying to clear her mind and breathe, Beth started cleaning up. She gathered up all the trash and went to drop it out in the bin outside, when she stopped, noticing a strange package. Blonde hair dye. So this is what is going on. You've been pulling these pranks. Felicity. Felicity, she was her daddy's little sweetheart. But perhaps not so innocent. Felicity knew if she had to get Beth out, she would have to do it cunningly. Because crying to daddy, "She's not my mom," or "I don't like your girlfriend," definitely wasn't going to work. So she planned to give Beth a hard time so she herself would give up and leave, the first of which was exchanging her dress. "I have a big event at the office this Friday. I have to make a good impression." While Beth was off to work the following day, Felicity had taken the dress back to the store and got it exchanged for an extra small. And the blonde dye, that was just the icing on the cake for all the other things she had coming. If that's how you want to play the game, then let's play the game. Felicity was more than happy when she saw Beth walking around with that bleached hair. It was hilarious. Cruella, or more like one of her Dalmatians. Good times, Felicity, good times. The next morning, Felicity was off to school. Today, she was to submit in her science project. Felicity had prepared a video presentation and walked up in front of the class. But just as she pressed play, she froze hearing her voice from the speaker, her 5-year-old voice. "When I grow up, I want to be a cat. Like my pet cat, Sir eats a lot, because he eats a lot. I will meow like him." Felicity was shocked seeing one of her childhood videos. How did this get on here? She rushed to turn it off, but it seemed like it was too late. "I will climb onto the wardrobe like him." Stephen, take the cat out. He's pooping on the carpet again." "I will also poo on the carpet like him." "No, Felicity, no!" Seeing the video, everyone roared in laughter, and Felicity stood there in embarrassment. And as expected, the rest of the day went by in which she had become a meme. "Excuse me, miss, may I go to the restroom?" And the entire class shouted out, "No, Felicity, no!" Luckily, the next day was Saturday, and hopefully everyone would forget her little incident come Monday. Felicity was in her room getting ready to go out with some friends. She plugged in her hair straightener and brushed out her long hair. But the minute she went to straighten it, she couldn't get the straightener off her hair. What is happening? Why isn't it coming off? Hearing her scream, Beth rushed to her room to see Felicity crying in front of the mirror. A huge chunk of her hair literally melted off with the straightener. "Felicity, how did this happen?" "I don't know. My hair." "Don't worry, we can fix this. It's not that bad." "I mean, just look at my hair. You know what? Let's go to the salon." Beth got her hair dyed black again, and Felicity had to get a boy's haircut. But as they both looked into the mirror, Felicity noticed a sly smirk on Beth's face. "Felicity, do you believe in karma?" "You." Beth had had her laugh. Payback well done. She had stuck some wax into the inside of Felicity's straightener, and looks like the plan worked fine. But this was the beginning of the Cold War. From then on, Felicity wouldn't let go of any opportunity to prank Beth. "Breakfast is on the table. I'm running late. Gotta go. Bye." Beth grabbed her coffee off the table and hurried out. However, in the middle of her conference, she suddenly felt her stomach begin to churn. "Oh no. Are you okay, Miss Adams?" "Just one moment, please." Beth spent all day running to the bathroom from a troubled stomach. "Felicity, what did you do?" "Oh, it's just some laxative pills. Won't do any harm, but it'll teach you a good lesson." Felicity chuckled as she hid the pills and got ready for bed. But it was just as she turned on her bedside lamp, all of a sudden, everything in her room went dark, and she heard a loud noise from all her devices. "Dad!" Felicity rushed to her dad's room, almost crying. "Dad, my laptop, my tablet, my gaming PC, everything got ruined." "How can that happen?" "I don't know." All of a sudden, Beth walked in. "I just checked it out. Looks like all of Felicity's devices malfunctioned in a short circuit. But what's strange, it was only in her room. My laptop is fine. What about yours, Steven?" "Yeah, mine too. I'll go take a look." "You may be a millennial, but I grew up watching MacGyver." This time, after Beth had gotten back at Felicity, it seemed she had toned down. It was suspicious, a bit too suspicious. Beth and Steven were home one night when she received a call from an unknown number. "Who was that?" "I don't know." Beth innocently pressed the speaker. It was a woman. "Hello, may I speak to Miss Beth Adams?" "Yes, it's Beth." "Hi, Beth. This is Tiffany from VII Labs. According to our records here, you had a recent abortion done at the clinic?" "I was just calling to confirm the appointment for next week. It's recommended after the abortion procedure you get another checkup." Stephen turned to look at Beth in shock. "What? Did you get pregnant? And you aborted the child without telling me?" "No, this has to be a mistake. Miss Beth Adams, are you there? You've got the wrong number." Hearing the faint chuckle just as the line disconnected, Beth shook her head. This girl. Felicity had gotten a friend to do the voice and called Beth just when she knew she would be with her dad. It was the best prank yet. But of course, she knew Beth would be planning too. The following afternoon, while Felicity was with her dad just hanging out in the kitchen, they heard the phone ring in the living room. And Beth suddenly called out to her. "Felicity, it's your boyfriend Daniel. He called asking if you left behind his jacket here when he came to meet you in the middle of the night after everyone had fallen asleep." Stephen turned to look at Beth. "What? Boyfriend? Felicity, since when?" But when he turned, his daughter was long gone. The pranks and comebacks continued one after the other in the house. It was one of these days that Felicity had snuck into her dad's room to get her hands on Beth's phone to get some information for her next prank. Oh, Dad's phone is here too. Felicity started going through her dad's phone when she was surprised by what she found. Is he cheating on Beth? Not knowing what to think, Felicity put the phone away and left the room. She kept silent, but in the following days, she started to notice her dad had been arguing and fighting with Beth a lot. Why is Dad doing this? She's not that bad. And it was one evening, after another fight, Stephen barged out of the room to find Felicity right there. What are you doing here? Nothing, I was just standing. Why? Don't you have anything better to do? Go to your room, you're grounded. But Dad, what did I do? Now you're talking back to me? As long as you live under my roof, you live by my rules. Now go from here. Hearing Stephen shout, Beth hurried out. Why are you treating her like that? She didn't do anything wrong. You don't have to tell me what's right and what's wrong. As Stephen stormed off, Beth and Felicity stood there in shock. What happened to Dad? That witch has spellbound your father. He's changing. He's not himself anymore. Yeah, he never treated me like that before. Wanna call truce until we exorcise him from her possession? Fine, truce. Stephen had been watching the ongoing secret Cold War between Beth and Felicity ever since she moved in. At first she thought they would get over it and get along. But then the prank started to get out of hand. The only way to end this war was to intervene as a common villain. So Stephen started to give Beth a false vibe that he was cheating on her with a colleague of his, Roxanne, who was actually happily married and settled in her life. Stephen and Beth had started quarreling, and it seemed Beth was falling for it, and to confirm it to her, Stephen had saved some pics so Beth could see them. But coincidentally, Felicity had seen them instead. But this only made his plan easier. He then treated Felicity horribly and drove the two to the point where they both at least had something in common. Now finally, there was peace in the house. But now if they're united, what are they going to do? Roxanne, it's for you. Hello? Hello, Miss Roxanne Simmons. I was calling to settle the remaining bill of the abortion procedure you had done last week. The debit card payment had been rejected. Would you like to pay in cash? What? Did you abort the baby? I'm in my 3rd trimester. How can I have an abortion last week?
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.